Rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. A moment ago through a shot. We've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. And off we go from Denver. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now Locke. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Locke going to hand it off here to Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Carr now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Pat Surtain. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Broncos as Locke finds Judy. So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try and make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 33. Locke going to throw. And that's complete. Albert Okwuegbunam shifts by him, and he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Caught on a slant. Touchdown. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Four yards remain for 2nd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And trying to get it to Ruggs, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Melvin Ingram. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Another one for his trophy case. I mean, it's rare enough for a lineman to have one interception. He had one last week and now back-to-back weeks.
It's absolutely amazing, isn't it, watching it happen? And how about the joy that you see in him back-to-back weeks, getting interceptions? He's going to be telling the defensive backs, I'm coming your way from now on, guys.
Yeah, take it easy. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 and the 34.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now to the air, Locke. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Solomon Thomas able to record his 5th sack of the season. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me, with enough touches, he could easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Now Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. On 4th down, Joe Judge makes the decision. They're going for it. Carr going to go on 4th down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now Carr. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr completes it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down Vegas as Carr finds Ruggs that time. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the 2nd half.
K.J. Hamler returning it. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Still going. And he will score. special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there as he'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, and that'll bring up second down.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Carr to throw again. It's complete to Drake. And he gets it down to the 32. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Jacobs. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Carr going to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now a play fake. Carr. And he fires one incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Carr.
This goes out wide for Drake.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver,
but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Completes this out left to Ruggs.
And he'll be out of bounds. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Derek Carr. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. The extra point, not exactly a thing of beauty, but it does ricochet home. And this is back to an 8-point game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more.
It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line.
77 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On 1st down, Locke.
That's out to the flat for Gordon.
And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
That catch good for only a couple. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Locke. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Here's Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Into the red zone, it's Locke. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Jonathan Abram able to make the play defensively.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver. Shotgun snap to Locke. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And McManus able to put it through, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw his car. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 16 more on that one and another 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. by word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw it is Locke. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Oh, he stays up.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
15 yards there on the catch and run.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot, versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing now is Locke. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game.
Carr going to leave this for Drake on the draw.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Here's Carr.
Able to connect with Jacobs.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Carr. Got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 110 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground. But both really started to come in sync. So for the Broncos, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.